Greetings, my dear viewers. It is I, Dremurr, and welcome back to Pathfinder Hero Flux. That is Flux, short for fluctuation. I have to keep saying that, otherwise the YouTube overlords will try to take down my video. Anyway, in this series, we are taking a look at different characters from across media and bringing them into Pathfinder 2nd Edition, exactly how they were in their canon depictions, or at least as close as we possibly can. Today we are taking a look at a viewer request by Agsilver Radio for Fowey, one of the main antagonists, probably even the main antagonist of the Undertale series. A sentient plant who used to be the child of a noble house to Asriel and... oh, what was her name? I forgot her name, but... some with real. Toriel. Asriel and Toriel Dremurr tragically died, and thanks to some sort of determination serum was brought back as a sentient flower. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this interesting character. Now, if you are looking for an Asriel build, I do have one for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. You could probably take some of the same concepts from that video and apply them to Pathfinder. I do plan on getting Asriel and some of my other Dungeons & Dragons builds moved over into the Pathfinder style in the future. So if you are looking for some of those, do look out for that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We are starting off with our stats, going to increase our dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma each by 2. If you can't tell from the right-hand side where my PowerPoint seemed to have glitched, we are taking a ancestry in Leshy. I almost went for a different ancestry because I couldn't find a heritage that would fit Fowey until I actually found a image of a flower Leshy. So I'm like, okay, what could this be? So I decided to go for the heritage of Root Leshy. Anyway, the Leshy is going to give us a +1 to our Constitution, +2 to our Constitution, a -2 to our Intelligence because plants aren't smart, Wisdom is a +2, and a Charisma is going to be +2. Don't worry, we will have our Intelligence increase again here in a minute. For our starting hit points, we are going to get 8 hit points. We are a small creature since we are just a flower. We get a speed of 25 feet, low light vision, plant nourishment, and an Ancestry Feat, Seed Pod. The Seed Pod is a reference to the friendliness petals that Fowey tries to attack us with in the first segment of the game. Next is the background, and we are going with the Reborn Soul, increasing our intelligence by 2 and our charisma by 2. Like I just stated, Fowey used to be Asriel Dremurr, who was the child of Osgore and Toriel Dremurr. But he died, and was brought back to life. He's reborn. Next is our class, and this took me a little bit longer than I thought, but I think I finally found the right class for Fowey, and that would be the Oracle. Now, I'll get into my explanation here in a second. I want to go ahead and go over the stats of the Oracle. First and foremost, we are increasing our intelligence by 2 points, making it an 18 to finish off our first level stats. For our hit points, we get an extra 8 hit points plus our Constitution modifier. We are trained in Perception, we get saving throws in Fortitude and Reflex, and we are experts in the Will saving throws. For our skills, we are trained in Arcana, Deception, Intimidation, Occultism, Performance, and Religion. For attacks, we are trained in Simple Weapons and Unarmed Attacks. For defense, we are trained in Light Armor and Unarmored Defense. We also have spell casting that uses the Divine Spell List. And our spell save DC is 17, and our spell attack is +7. Now for the explanation into Oracle, and this is going to be explained by the subclass Mystery. We are picking the Mystery of Time, and this is because of Fowey's connection to determination. When we meet Fowey on some of our retries, when we reset the game, Fowey says, "Oh, you reset the game, did you?" He knows about saves. He even explains to us that he used to have the ability to save, to make a save file, to go back in time and do it all over again. Now, while from a game perspective, this could be seen as something else entirely, for the purposes of in-universe, I think this is going to settle with the aspect of time. You set a point within time you wish to go back to, aka you save, you play out one route, and you decide, I don't want to do this, and you go back to your last save point. You are traveling back through time, essentially. You get the granted cantrip of Time Sense, and your revelation spell starting off is going to be Temporal Distortion. You also get your curses, which we will have access to once we get into further levels. At the moment in time, we are getting our Ocular Curse and our Mystery Domain spell, which is Time, which for this purpose is going to be Delay Consequence, with the advanced domain spell of Stasis. I thought this was a clever way to sort of go over his ability, or at least his prior ability, to save, quote unquote. Now let's go ahead and move on to our level 2 Oracle, where we get the class feat of Divine Aegis and the skill feat of Read Psychometric Resonance. This was the closest thing I can find to his ability to know that someone has used the save ability, much like the protagonist. Since he can no longer use it, he can sense when somebody else does use it. Though it's not the same thing as read psychometric resonance. With psychometric resonance, you touch and read the psychic impressions left on objects by the previous owners. This exploration activity functions similarly to detect magic in that you move at half your travel speed or slower while looking for psychometric resonance. You must brush your bare hands over any object you pass while you do this. This detects objects with significant emotional resonance attached to them, such as the joy of a child's beloved teddy bear, the sorrow of a widower's wedding ring, or the fear from a victim's murder weapon. If you're looking for a particular type of emotional resonance, you can choose to ignore other emotions. If you find an item with that resonance, you can explore that resonance with the following action. And it goes on to explain the action. Let's go ahead and move on to level 3. We are now experts in deception. We're going to grab the feat Die Hard, and we are able to gain access to our signature spell. Level 4 oracles gain the class feat. We're going to go with Widen Spell and the skill feat of Assurance, and we're going to pick the skill of Arcana. At level 5, we go ahead and increase our ability scores. Go ahead and increase your dexterity, constitutions, and intelligence each by 2, making them a 14. And increase your charisma by 1, since we are going past that 18 marker. We are now trained in diplomacy, since we have an increase to our intelligence. We are experts in intimidation, and we are getting the Ancestry Feat of Fey Influence. Fey Influence kind of speaks for itself. We have been exposed to the powerful Fey magic. You become trained in primal DCs and spell attack rolls. You gain the Fey trait and one of the following features that grants an innate primal spell that can be used once per day. We are picking Fawn, or as some people might know, Satyr. According to the Fawn, we gain legs and feet are swift and possibly hooved, granting us the Fleet Step. And I think that is a peculiar description. Swift, possibly hooved. I can just imagine a flower leshy with satyr legs. That is just crazy. We did go with the rooted leshy, but this little depiction that I had clobbered together just seems hilarious. But I'm wondering what it would actually look like. Of course, this does stem from Asriel being a goat-like creature. So it does make sense that we have this Fey influence, since that's what we once were. Next is Oracle level 6. Our class feat is going to be Detonating Spell, and our skill feat is going to be Bon Mot. We are a sarcastic little flower, after all. Next, level 7, we are experts in diplomacy. Our feat is going to be Numb to Death, which actually describes Flowey's personality perfectly. Because according to his Wikipedia page, Fowey has gone back so many times after using his save files. He's numb, literally, to the idea of death, since he could just go back to his last save point. Or at least he used to be able to do that. Next, you get access to Expert Spellcaster and the Resolve feature. At level 8, we're going to grab Steady Spellcasting and the skill feat Charming Liar. Charming Liar does again fit with Flowey's whole shtick. mainly his first encounter when he's trying to give us friendliness petals. Next is level 9 Oracle. We are now experts in performance, and we're going to grab the Ancestry Feat of Anchoring Roots, which gives us the free feat of Steady Balance. Anchoring Roots, again, gives us trained in acrobatics if we weren't already trained in it, but we weren't, so doesn't matter. Prerequisites, we're trained in acrobatics, thanks to Steady Balance. We get to keep our balance easily, even in adverse conditions. This works perfectly since we are just a flower rooted into the ground. And we also get Magical Fortitude. Moving on to level 10, we are going to get an ability score increase. 2 to Constitution, Intelligence, and Wisdom, with 1 increasing to Charisma. We are trained in Society, and we're going to get the class feat of Advanced Revelation and the skill feat of Courtly Graces. Again, being the son of 2 royals, you are going to have these Courtly Graces. Level 11, we are now Masters Intimidation. We are going to grab the general feat of Ancestral Paragon, giving us access to an ancestry feat. We're going to pick Harmlessly Cute, which I don't think I need to explain again what happened during our first interaction with Fowey. And that gives us access to the free feat of Shameless Request. We also have access to Alertness, Major Curse, and Weapon Expertise. At level 12 Oracle, we get access to the class feat of Greater Revelation and the skill feat of Assurance once again, but this time we are going to pick Deception. At level 13, we are experts in the Society skill. We're going to grab the Ancestry feat of Fey Ascension. We also have access to Light Armor Expertise, Lightning Reflexes, and Weapon Specialization. Since we are picking Fey Ascension and we already have access to the Fallen, we're going to get access to the ability to cast Charm, Sleep, Triple Time, and also whenever we cast one of these spells, we can step or stride as part of the activity. So that's pretty useful. Next is level 14 Oracle. We are going to get access to Quickened Casting as our skill feat, as our class feat. Our skill feat is going to be Skeptic's Defense, which, how this ability works, you don't believe in any mental twaddle, and you're certainly not afraid of it. You scoff and verbally refute the triggering effect, attempting a counteract check using your intimidation modifier with a counteract level of half your level rounded up. If you succeed, you ignore the triggering effect. That honestly sounds like some of the interactions I've seen with Fowey. He just nonchalantly brushes you off, or brushes somebody else off, maybe even brushes off their attack. Next is level 15 Oracle. Go ahead and increase your Dexterity, Constitution, and Wisdom each by 2, while increasing your Charisma by 1. We are now experts in Arcana, and we're going to grab the feat Feather Step just to do it, and we are a Master Spellcaster at this point. Next is level 16. We're going to grab the class feat of Diverse Mastery, which gives us access to another Revelation spell. And I thought Spray of the Stars would be appropriate, since it is an attack that the Asriel of Hyperdeath knows, being able to throw stars at the player character. It seemed like an appropriate spell to acquire. We also have access to the skill feat Hobnobber. Next is level 17 Oracle with the Master Skill of Arcana, and we're going to grab the Ancestry Feat of Call of the Green Man. This gives us the ability to cast Plant Form as a 5th level Primal Innate spell. At 17th level, it becomes a heightened to 6th level, which, since we are 17th, it is now 6th level. This is a paying homage to the Omega Flowey that is possible during one of the alternate endings. We also have access to Greater Resolve and Extreme Curse. Next is level 18 Oracle, where we get access to the class feat of Mysterious Repertoire and the skill feat of Group Coercion. At level 19, we are now masters in the Deception skill. We're going to grab the feat of Kani Okumen, and using Perception, we get Ocular Clarity and Legendary Spellcaster. Moving on to level 20 Oracle, go ahead and increase your Strength, Dexterity, and Intelligence each by 2, while increasing your Charisma to its final 22. We are now trained in the Nature skill. We get the class feat of Paradoxal Mystery and the skill feat of Reveal True Name. And that is it for today's build. Though before we go, I do want to give off some closing notes, because I'm sure some of you are wondering, since we gave homage to the Omega Flowey transformation, what about Hyperdeath's transformation? Since we do have the stars, the Falling Stars spell from earlier. Well, I thought that there would be a couple of spells within the Oracle spell list, the Divine spell list, that can help, and there are actually 2. One of them is the 10th level spell, Avatar. You transform into an avatar of your deity, assuming a huge battle form. Secondly, there is Cosmic Form. You recreate your form entirely out of cosmic energy, transforming into a large battle form. This seems to be very similar to Hyperdeath's form during the final battle, though I thought that would be up to you viewers. I was just giving some ideas of spells that you could use to sort of signify some of the other transformations that Flowey undergoes within the final acts of the game. Now, with that being said, that is all the time I have for you today. What did you think? Let me know in the comment section below. And what spells would you pick for your Flowey? Until next time, this has been Drehon, and I am offline.